On a day-to-day the shit changed, but you know for the most part nothing indifferent. Sometimes be stuck in my ways, weekend fucked up in somebody's kitchen, sticking my hand, I'm chilling with the troops and my few cans down, so I walk like Winston. Trust me, I wake up hanging, you think that I'm leaving this bed, you're kidding, I'm sitting on back in the pad, get deep fried and I smoke some packs of the grass, put the feet up, kick back and relaxing at best, no I'm sitting on Reilly's gas.
Wow, guys, 100 episodes. People, there's been whispers in the wind. What you've got to do for the 100th? It's coming up. There was really only one thing we could do, mate. The greatest guest in Reilly's Gaff history, I would say. Would you say?
Hands down.
What do you think of that?
Hello. So,
sorry, you get used to it.
Right, okay.
You're better just holding it there constantly.
Right, no problem. Well, it's been amazing. Thank you very much for inviting me over to your new scenery of your new studio.
Aye.
So it's quite amazing. So hopefully you climb up in the ladder.
Aye.
And I believe to be this is your 100th episode.
100th episode.
So minted.
Brilliant, mate. I'm so happy you came back because obviously there was a wee while we were on the ropes, Lee. Us, weren't we? But just for a wee day or two, we were a bit. I mean, because this is a thing, man. Nobody loves you more than Reilly's Gaff loves you, mate. We've backed you for day one. Day one, we're like, this is the fucking guy. Mm-hmm. And there was maybe some things you seen on the podcast, you're like, I'm not too happy with that. And I think I know what it was, and we can talk about it, right? Because we were saying, I don't think he's actually at court that much. Surely he can't be at court that much. Would you say you are actually at court that much?
So the reason why I studied law, I done it for my own benefit, is I went and studied law, right? I think it was it the first episode of Reilly's Gaff? And I was kind of in the middle of it. I don't know what year it was. Do you know roughly what year it was?
2022 maybe?
2021, something like that.
Was it 2021? Maybe it was before that. Maybe it was before the first episode. I don't know. I can't really remember. There's a lot goes into my mind. But anyway, that point, the reason why I study law is because obviously I done it for my own benefit, but I usually help other people as well. That's what I do. So
do you think, because there's a really old video of you and you look very different in it, you got a shaved head and that, and you say, I'm proper old school and I love committing crime. Did you study law because you knew I'm going to get into a world of crime here? I need to know how to defend myself.
So, during COVID, right, the start of COVID, that point, yes, I did got myself into trouble, and that point, I was just an idiot, you know what I mean? So, yes, I kind of climbed up the ladder, fall down the ladder, so on and so forth, right? But end of the day, it's everybody makes mistakes, but everyone is willing to change their lives around. So that's what I'm trying to do just now, and I'm trying to change my life around and just maybe give back to the people in the community. That's what I'm trying to do. So
you think even for the first episode that we done, you've maybe grown up a bit and maybe matured a bit? Or
yes, I'm mature now because obviously I'm 31 years old, right? But end of the day, I kind of just cracked down with the TikTok videos. I have nearly over 50,000 videos, 50,000 followers. I mean, so it is starting to get quite big now. I'm very popular down in England. I've just no long ago been to Manchester, and there was a police officer, let's just say a police constable with a moustache, and I bumped into him in Manchester, and this cop knew me from TikTok. So that just shows you I'm getting quite very popular from social media.
You were doing some videos down south, weren't you? Were you doing some...
I'm always up and down Manchester, so obviously I work for myself. I usually buy and sell cars, and maybe half the majority I'm down for maybe a speeding ticket or some kind of court case down in England. So I just won 2 court cases a few months ago, and that was it. A brilliant result. One down in Birmingham, and the other one was down in Teesside, just not that far away from Newcastle. So that was a minted result.
Was it Was it just speeding? Or what?
Just a speeding case.
Do you like to go?
It was
you
a
like to go
speeding case,
fast?
and the other one was a 172, a 1988 Road Traffic Act. It was to do with false information. So it was to do with a fraud case, and the two of them has actually been dropped. So wanted result.
Were you representing yourself?
I did. I represent. Most of the time, I always represent myself anyway. So, aye.
That's a good result. So what do you? What is it? What is it about Manchester that you love?
Why do I like Manchester? I don't know. It looks like New York, you know. Like, it's not just Manchester. I go to London, I go to different places all over England. But most of the time, I always spend most of my time down in England. I don't know why, but I'm just kept busy all the time. So, yes, the part of it, the reason why, because obviously I buy and sell cars and that's what I do. So, last year, I actually made over £10,000 in the last 3 months. Crazy, you know. Just buying old bangers.
Wheeling and dealing?
Yeah, exactly.
What exactly? See, when you get them, do you go? Can you almost see the car and you go, I could fucking, that's a diamond. I could get that.
The reason why, so what I do is, when I go and see a car, right, I look at a car, either Facebook, Marketplace or Gumtree, right? Cars down in England, they're a lot cheaper down there. They're a lot well maintained and what cars up in Scotland. The reason why is because I think my understanding is cars down in England, they kind of spend more up and down motorways and dual carriageways.
Right, so they're no stopping and starting.
Exactly, aye. I think maybe people want their cars very well maintained and keep them good. So I think people down in England, they go by the book, do you know what I mean? So
Like service history and all that.
exactly, they got full service history, they have full years MOT, they have, you know, like a lot of receipts and paperwork and all that. One car I have just now is a Vauxhall Insignia, and the car's got full service history, brand new diamond belt and a water pump, and it's a top of the range one.
Much.
And I gave £1,300. It's got a
Nice.
full year's MOT. Car's worth about £2,500. Do you know what I mean?
How quickly you get that? Do you bring it back up here and sell it, or do you just flip it, just go flip
I
right
just
away?
take them back up in Scotland and then I sell them. That's what I do. There were one Vauxhall Insignia. It was a Vauxhall Insignia Estate, right? SIX, is it a VX line edition?
Right, you're better than me at this.
It's basically a sports model, they call it, right? It's got fancy names. That was the same as well, full service history and all that. And I bought that car for £1,100, right? Sold it for £2,000, and it was advertised less than 24 hours, and it was sold like that there. And the guy knew me from TikTok.
Does your like national fame help you sell these cars? Do you think there's a bit that they want the motor, but most of it is to come and meet the man?
Just want to get near
So,
you.
the reason why I do this, right, I do not put my face, I don't put nothing like that up, right, because you get idiots. They're called trolls, enemies. And that's when trolls and enemies will target you, right? They'll try their best. And when a narcissistic person tries get in touch with you, they won't leave you alone after that. They will keep trying
Because you fed them.
bully you. Exactly. They'll try and bully you. They'll try and they'll try everything under the sun, right, to try and get you fucked, right? They'll report you to the police, everything. That happened to me before. Traffic cops actually pulled me up and they said that I was drunk driving a car. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen one of the videos.
Probably have seen it. I can't
Aye,
even
so
remember.
apparently there were 7 traffic cars and surrounded me, and somebody reported me and told lies, said I was drunk driving a motor vehicle.
Just being trolls.
Aye, just near the fucking Royal Infirmary Hospital.
I know where
Aye, you know
aye.
where the college is and all
Aye,
that?
aye.
There. So I got stopped there early hours in the morning. That point, traffic cops surrounded me, dragged me out the car. It says, you've been drunk driving. When you blew into this, you know, breathalyze me. Fuck all. Zero, right? What can the traffic cops do, right?
Aye.
Jump in your motor
Free
and
you
fuck
go.
off. That's what the traffic cops said.
Yeah, I'm wanting to know what's the biggest profit margin you've made on one of the whips?
So, the best one I ever made, right, and I'm going to tell you, one day I bought what was that again? A Vauxhall Insignia again. Vauxhall Insignias are so good
they
sellers.
gold?
Them cars sell like like
taxi driver motor, by the way. Taxi drivers love. They'll get a Vauxhall
Insignias. I don't know why. They're so good sellers. They're really good sellers, right? That was last year, right? That's when I made over £10,000 in 3 months, right? That point, I have made in one day, it was £3,500, £3,500, right? So I sold the Vauxhall Insignia, right? I got £1,000 back. And that point, I swapped it for a Ford Focus, right? The guy gave us £1,000. That point, the same day, advertised the Focus, right? Guy put a full year's MOT on it. Next thing what happened, and that same day, a few hours later, I think it was like less than 2 or 3 hours later, guy messaged me. He says, I'm interested in the car. Put it up for 2,500.
Oh.
Made £3,500 in one day. Can you believe it?
By the way, do you know what I'm thinking about, right? Have you seen these people? Like, I think Andrew Tate and all that. There's some other people.
No.
You know him? Andrew Tate.
I heard of the
I heard of him. He does like, I think called Hustlers University, where he gets people to pay him every month to teach them how to do whatever he does. I think you could do it with a motor flipping,
Would you be up for that? Would you be up for like being like, you know how I don't know if you've seen it, Kaz Milligan done it like an ebook, and it was like, I'll show you how to get big in social media and all that. Would you do one for like, I'll show you how to buy and sell motors, or you want to kind of keep this industry for yourself?
I like to kind of just keep it to myself, right? Maybe I would, a possibility I might do the same as what Kaz Milligan does, to show a level of understanding how to buy and sell cars or how to flip them, right? There's a guy which he follows me, he's down in England, called Chris. I don't know what's his second name. He flips cars and vans, you name it, right? He stays near Newcastle, right? And that point, he's a big fan of mine. He followed me, right? And I bought one of the cars off him. It was a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, right? Thing was scrap. I mean scrap, right?
Is it gubbed?
Next following day, the thing was draining his battery and everything, you know. But I managed to get it sold anyway. So I swapped it for a fucking Ford Fiesta, a 10 plate. But the Mercedes was only a 52 plate or something. Thing was scrapped, you know what I mean? So
still, but when you get, so like for other people that are flipping motors, maybe you would get given a bit of like a hunk of shit, and you would think, I'm fucked here, but you're still getting ready, getting the Fiesta.
So you have to kind of think quick. You have to kind of act quick. So, like, I see myself buying X5 BMWs. They're good sellers as well, especially this time of the year. People wants to buy them. Why? Because number one, they want to use it to pull cars. They want to use it for recovery trucks or like pulling transport trailers or you name it, right? Or they want to either use it to ram cars off the road or something like that. My pal of mine, he stays down in Bradford, right? And there's a lot of fucking crime down there, right? So it's mental. Now, last year, I was staying down there because obviously I had 2 warrants outstanding last year, right? And that point, I was hiding away from the fucking police and all that, right? They caved the door in while I was staying in Cumbernauld. They searched the full house and all that, right?
They, aye.
So that point, you have to think smart, you know what I mean? I still have my own fucking old traffic uniform. I don't know if you remember the old police uniform.
How could we forget?
So I took everything. I took all my fucking shit, packed it into the fucking car and fucked off down to England, right?
Right.
And what I did was I fucking changed the SIM card, right? Fucked off with that. And I went and got myself one of these pay-as-you-go SIM cards, right?
Yep.
So the police could not fucking track or trace me or nothing, right? They can actually track and trace you, right? But fuck them, because you have to actually think 10 steps ahead with these bastards, right? Fuck the police, I'm not interested in them. Fuck the fucking shower of shites. That's exactly what they are, right? So anyway, they were busy looking for me. I don't know how the fuck they actually put me on the news as well, right?
Did they?
Aye, they did. Aye, they actually put me on the news, asking that we'll try to look for Lee Sutherland and all that. That's what But anyway, I drove down to England. I stayed down there for about 3 or 4 months, right? And then I was up for something else, and then I handed myself in. And then that point, that's when fucking social workers tell lies. So I had community service, and obviously I breached that. Why would I breach that? Fucking lies. Do you know what I mean? Fucking criminal justice social workers in Cumbernauld. Fucking witches. That's what they are. Do you know what I mean? So that point, what they did was they tell lies. They actually tell lies over 5 or 6 pages, right? I was in Ballina, HMP Ballina last year, spent 51 days, right? I was in since October, I think it was the 5th of October, I think. And then I was out on, what was it, the 7th of December, I think? No, the 18th of December. And then that point, I managed to get out the skin of my teeth, right? Because I served time for 51 days, 2 cases, being admonished. That was a good result.
Class.
And I gave the best speeches what I can actually give. Do you know what I mean? And you should always remember there's always a defence for every offence out there.
Yeah, remember
You
that.
must always remember that.
Can I ask, mate, you, just because you mentioned HMP Ballina there, it reminded me, have you heard
Right.
about HMP Glasgow?
No, I did die.
What's
I think
happening
it's,
with that?
Mate, up Royston, there's a £450 million project.
Aye, because
It's
it's overcrowding, isn't it?
Aye, so they're
like-
getting rid of Ballina and moving everybody there, and then Ballina's going to be like people are saying it's going to be a museum or something. Have you heard anything about that?
well, in Ballina.
Aye, like what they got to do with
There's a
Ballina?
thing inside Ballina. When I was remanded for 51 days, there was a thing, they posted a thing up, right? It's in the library somewhere, and it tells you all the layout and the works and all that, right? I think it's 2027, they're planning to go ahead and make this HMP Glasgow thing, right? So that is possibly what the target of that date. I think that's when they're wanting to go ahead with that.
Aye, it's
And
happening
then they
now.
start transfer. Aye, it's
They're
getting made
building it,
now.
aye.
But I think it's 2027. I don't know what month it is, but that's a rough estimate. You understand? So
So, do you think that the people in Ballina, now you've been in there, aye?
No.
So, do you think the people in there will be glad that they're getting moved?
Ballina, HMP, every jail is a shithole, is a dump. Do you know what I mean?
Even a
Nobody-
brand new one? Do you think they'll purposely make it shite?
Well,
It possibly would be, aye, because it'll still be a lockdown jail, especially because it's going to be transferred from HMP Ballina to HMP Glasgow. It's still going to be a 23-hour lockdown jail because that's the way Glasgow is.
Yep.
And you know, people from Glasgow, they don't mix well. Do you understand? Like from Blackmill or Easterhouse or like from Govan or something like that. Do
I
you
know.
understand? So.
Aye.
Like people always fighting one another or maybe recognise their face and say, oh, by the way, listen you wee fanny, as an example, right? Listen you still owe me money or your pal still owe me money. If you didn't give us the money, right, you're going to get a doing, right? So that point, they call a thing called, is it a Chelsea face or a
smile.
smile
Chelsea
face?
smile.
Aye.
Or something like that, aye. So obviously in Ballina, they give you a razor in the morning. These guys snap the razor, right? They take the blade out and then they hand the razor back after they're done with it. But these staff members, the prison officers, right? They don't look at the fucking blade inside it. As long as they put the thing into the basket, that's it. But as long as the what do you call
handle,
it? The
what-
inmates, the inmates, right? As long as they keep the blade, that's when they kind of do fucking damage at that point. You know what I mean? And these guys don't care. They're not interested. They're happy to do another 3 or 4 year serve time. You know what I mean? Because that's their second home.
that's scary,
Do you
innit?
know what I mean? So
What would you say? Because you've been in Ballina and Addiewell, is that right? You've been in any other ones?
I've been in 3 jails, HMP Dumfries as well.
What's
Is it-
HMP
aye,
Dumfries like?
Dumfries is a
Tractors and all that?
It's a wee small jail.
Yin
You know what I
twa,
mean?
they say
I was
that.
coming back from England, and me and my pal, and then obviously we swapped round. I was in the passenger side. He never had any fucking license and all that, right? And I was stupid enough. I was on TikTok and all that, right? And a fucking cop knew me. I was on look up on the news. It tells you about it, right? Lee Sutherland on TikTok live, off-duty cop, recognised me, know I was on bail and all that 77 curfew, right?
Type button.
And that point, I fucked it. They knew exactly where I was. Traffic car pulled behind us, waited for us at the top. Before we got before we passed by fucking Hamilton and all that, right? Right, that point. Next thing what happened, traffic car pulled right in, I think it was Lockerbie or something.
Aye, yeah.
So that point, we got
Disaster.
in, I went mental. Do you know what I mean? Alexei went fucking mental. And that's when I was staying in Paisley, it was, right? And then the next thing was, that's when I was in Paisley Sheriff Court and the fucking judge says, you're getting remanded, blah, 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 fuck you. You know what I mean?
And then you
So-
end up in, is that how you end up in Dumfries?
I was,
Dumfries,
that's the reason why I was in there. But apparently it's it is a paedophile's jail.
Is that aye?
No. So the two buildings.
What were you doing in there?
One is a remanded jail, right, for just normal people.
Right.
The other hall, right, the other building, it is for beasts and pedos.
Oof.
Because it's only a one jail. It's only a wee small jail.
Aye.
So,
just
shocking,
full
isn't
of
it?
So
pedos.
see these jails, right? See, now, there might be people watching this that have got maybe a court date coming up and they might be looking at doing a bit of time, right? What would you say to them is the best way to just get through life in jail?
Listen, if you commit a crime, the best thing to do is watch what you're doing. But it's tough, do you know what I mean? Especially domestics, women, partners or girlfriends or whatever, right? These people get you the fucking jail, do you know what I mean? And there's so many guys out there and they do get remanded, they go in. Listen, there's two you get a summary or you get a petition, right? Remand. And that point, you can actually serve up to 5 years for especially a domestic, because a domestic is a serious crime. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you're dealing with like battering your wife, your partner, or you're smashing the house up, or you can especially go up for like attempted murder and all that as well, for domestic as well. It's quite serious.
So
do you know what I mean?
What would you do? So say somebody on this get in the jail, say they're going up for a year, they're getting a year in Ballina.
So a year.
What would you do if you were that person? If you were going into the jail, how would you act? Would you go and battle the biggest guy in there, or would you try and stay low? Or
Like, listen, if you're going to get remanded for a year, right, and you be kept in for 1 year, right, listen, just keep your head down and do the time. You know what I mean? So be honest with the prison officers. Tell them exactly that you have enemies or that, and just be truthful. Do you know what I mean? Just keep your head down. Don't start grinning. Don't start like try to be the big man in the fucking jail or that, because you're going to end up having a sore face with these people, because most of the majority, there's guys in there for domestics, there's guys in there which are in for like old money and drugs and stuff like that. Listen, there's this world, this generation we live in is a different generation we live in now, because people don't care their actions now, because Ballina is like a second home to them. You know what I mean?
and do you think that was different back in the day?
It's still the same, but yes, it is different. But I think like 10 years of a different generation, right? I believe deep down there were a lot of knife crime, right, in Glasgow. Especially we Neds know that, right? Or like men, they don't care. All they're interested in is taking a penknife, carrying a penknife and slash you. They don't care. Do you know what I mean? And it's all about drinking and getting boozed up with alcohol, with buckfast and all that. And that's what it is, binge drinking. Why? Because I think it's well before TikTok, but I think it's kind of calmed down a wee bit because of the knife crime, because of the TikTok now. Yes, there's a lot of court cases with people in court grassing one another. There's so many grasses now, especially this TikTok and social media and all that, right? People are trying out people out, accusing people that, you know, like, you're a beast and all that, right? As an example. Listen, it's not they're going to get themselves into trouble, it's yourself. They're the ones that's grassing and putting the phone up and say, by the way, Mr. A, I want to report to Police Scotland that you have, that this person on TikTok is causing a crime. So if you report that matter, you're the ones going to get into trouble and telling lies. Do you understand what I mean? Does that make sense?
If you phone and lie about it.
Exactly. If you
phone
phone and lie about it, you're going to get yourself into trouble.
Yep.
And most of the majority of this generation we live in, there's a lot of it's going about now, especially with TikTok and social media. You understand?
Aye.
Smells like corruption.
Smells
You
like
ask me.
corruption. Corrupt to the fucking core. Speaking of TikTok, now we need to get into it, right? Since the last time we were in here, it was just before the boxing match, the famous boxing match that took place at the Normandy, and everything was rosy in the garden. Everything was going great. Yep. You and Kaz had a great relationship. You were saying, look, me and Kaz are only arguing for a bit of banter and whatever.
Clout.
And then I don't know what happened. But then let's just take it back to the Normandy Hotel. Now, me and Jamie were commentating on the boxing. We get there that night and we hear whispers in the room. Lee Sutherland's going to turn up here with 5 guys in a motor. What went down that night?
Right. Let me explain, right? So, I was on TikTok, right? And I was trying to look for a job and all that, right? I managed to get myself a job. The reason why I did this is because I asked people on TikTok for a wee bit of help to get me a job. Yes, I have got a job, right? Who was interfered with this job? Kaz Milligan.
With
right?
this current job?
This man. Aye, exactly right. But it's not about the job as well. He interfered with the TikTok videos. He actually put his foot step ahead, right? And he wanted to interfere with my... Like, this guy is just mental. Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, I said to Kaz, I says, why are you trying to interfere with him? Oh, we managed to help Lee Sutherland to get a job. He even spoke to the guy, right? I was supposed to have the interview for this van sales job the next following day, right? Before that day happened, he was the one to contact that guy on Instagram. I took a screenshot and I sent it to Kaz, and he was the one interfere with the interview. And he says, oh, I'm wanting to help Lee Sutherland out. I want to try and, I want to have a name of myself because I want to show everybody on TikTok who I am, as an example, right? Now, I don't know why Kaz Milligan wanted to go ahead with this, right? But he did. The guy made about over 10 worth of videos on TikTok mentioning about my name, doing this, doing that, right? So anyway, moving on. That point, I managed to get the job, and I said I did got the job. Next thing what happened is Kaz Milligan wanted to come down, and then that point he followed, like he wanted to chase clout again, and that point he's just fucking
So did Kaz...
irritating. Do you understand?
So did you sort that job for yourself, and Kaz was just kind
I
of...
did. It was myself who got the job.
Kaz,
You know what I mean?
Kaz is pretty, because he was on this podcast and he was saying, I helped him and I got him that job and then he fucked it. So that's Kaz didn't get you that job.
It was myself who got the job.
Right.
He never got me the job, but he was phoning other people to try and get me a job. He was only interested in his chasing clout. That's all he was only interested in.
So that for then, is that how the sort of relationship you had sort of soured and you stopped kind of being pals because you were like, this guy's just trying to get clout off me?
So that point, I was in the job, right? The guy's phone was getting rang. I was putting videos up. The guy asked me to, obviously, to help him to sell his vans, right? I never even got much as £1 off the guy, right? I was supposed to get paid anyway, but he never paid us, right? So anyway, I wasn't really interested. That point, next thing what happened is Kaz Milligan interfered with the interview, right? Next thing what happened is he said, no, sorry, before that, he phoned me up and he says, by the way, what's going on with this job? Why did you leave the job? I said, because I said, there's so many idiots. I says, going to this guy's job and he's trying to interfere with the job, right? I says, I left the job and that was it. I says, I couldn't really handle it, right? That point, I had a lot of things in my mind. Obviously, that point, right? The other stuff. So anyway, next thing what happened, my head was bouffing, right? My head was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you understand? So next thing, that Kaz Milligan was trying to interfere with a lot of things. That's when we kind of broken into this this friendship thing, right? And then the next thing is, he says, oh, well, if you're not going to bother helping, then I'm not going to bother you, right? Well, I told him to go and fuck everything, right? I told him to go and fuck your generation, fuck your mother and all that, right? I told him to go and fuck your granny's cunt and all that. That's what I said. That's what I say to him, right? And
Is this a rap battle?
That's when I went mental, right? I kind of just went mental, and I told him, I said, see you, I said, you're a fucking beast and all that, right? And I told him, I said, you're only interested in this wee fucking wee wains and all that. I says, on that fucking TikTok and that. I said, you're fucking wrong, Ian. I said, you go and lick your fucking mother and all that. That's what I said to him. I did, I went mental, right?
Aye.
So the next thing is, he went mental, right? So That's when I think it was the same time it was the boxing event, wasn't it?
Aye, it was coming up.
And then the
Aye.
second time I was supposed to go to the boxing event,
Aye. Yep.
but I wasn't invited.
Aye.
But
Right?
did you turn up? Did I see you
did I?
cruising by in a car? No.
I think it was. Don't think it was the second time. I think it was the main one.
See,
Yeah,
aye,
it was the
so,
main
aye,
event.
because there was a... Aye, because there was like a mind the press conference and you were there the first one, and then there was like a weigh-in thing, but you didn't come to that. But I'm talking, see the
No,
night.
it was away in. I remember. it
but
now,
the
aye.
actual night.
I was there.
Were you? Aye.
I was. I was there.
Aye, the way-in.
I was there.
Were you?
No,
Aye.
you
I got
were
stopped
at the
by the police
boxing gym, I
number.
know. You were at the boxing gym for the like shadow boxing or whatever.
Aye, but that was after the
Aye.
argument. Aye.
But let's just talk about the night.
The night of the actual fight.
Aye, so
What actually happened? Because we were inside and we were only hearing. Lee's just swung by in an X5 with 4 guys and all that, and left, and then you
no,
were.
Voxel Amigo was.
Oh, was it?
You
Oh,
did swing by?
Had
My
blue
mistake,
lights and all
sorry.
that.
So
I had
what?
blue lights.
Did you ever play?
Did you not remember?
I
Had
wasn't
blue
there, I didn't
lights.
see it.
No, we were inside. We had to.
Aye. So tell us what happened that night.
Right, so I'm going to tell you what happened, right? So the day before that happened, I remember Kaz Milligan and Sean Paul, right? They were speaking together on TikTok Live, right? I was listening to everything what was getting said, right? That was the big day for tomorrow they were discussing about. That point, Sean Paul is a wee shite bag, right? He's scared of me. That's his main prerogative. You know what I mean?
Is he scared of you? Aye.
Aye, of course he's scared. The guy is like the biggest shite bag. Like, I don't know, right? That's just a lot. It's a lot to talk about, right? So anyway, Sean Paul was saying to Kaz Milligan, right? And he said, is Lee Sutherland going to be there? And Kaz Milligan says, no, there's going to be multitudes of SIA badge holders, security guards, and the police is going to be there. Did that happen? Of fucking course it did happen, right? So the next following morning, I decided to fuck in the fucking car, fucking get to that fucking hotel place, right? Renfrew, isn't it?
Aye, Renfrew, aye.
I fucking drove down there early in the morning. I think it was about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock or something like that, right? And then the next thing was, before I got there, what happened? I got stopped by the police, right?
Oh.
Just before round the corner, the police were travelling. Even Armed Response was driving up and down. Now, how the fuck did that happen? Did Kaz Milligan actually say something?
Do you
You
think
know
he
what I mean?
informed
I
the
think
police?
he actually put a wee word to 101 and contact the police, right? And said to the police, it says, by the way, Lee Sutherland's going to turn up with like 10 guys or whatever, right? As a prime example, right? Could be, I don't know. But anyway, there were a lot of police cars travelling up and down that road, right? A Ford Transit Custom, one of these police van type things, right? Police van pulled behind me, right? He says, oh, how you doing? I thought I definitely recognise you. I says, oh, is that right? Aye. I says, could you step out? I said, can I move? No, could you walk back a wee bit, right? I says, I need to get out. I want to speak to you and all that, right? So I said to the constable, I said, you acting on your oath as a constable?
You always need to ask that.
Don't start that. That's what the copper said, right? Don't start this piss, right? That's what he said to me. He said, well, what's your plans? What's your journey? I says, I'm just out floating about and all that. I said, just riding about. All right, okay. I says, are you aware that there's a boxing event? No. I says, I don't know what you're talking about. That's what I said, because you need to play
10 steps ahead.
So that point, multitudes of police cars came, right? 4 police cars came, right? Guy was on the radio, Lee Sutherland, you know, that's harsh DL checks, you know, that shite talk, right? Now, I don't understand a word of that, any of that shite, right? So I went up to him and I says, what's the reason, why are you on your radio? I says, mention my name and all that. I said, you've been quite suspicious there, right? And he says, oh, no, nothing to worry about and all that. Next thing, you hear the sirens coming, right? Less than like 2 minutes, right? Police cars, vans, you name it, right? Says, Mr. Sutherland, how you doing? I says, are there anything you have in your car? I said, no. I said, nothing at all. I said, am I cautioned or detained and all that? That's what I said to him, right? No, not at all, no. We need to ask you a few questions. I says, are you any chance that you going to the boxing event? I said, do you know anything about it? You know, they would try to antagonise me to try and get answers, you know. Obviously, I never said fuck all, right? No. So I don't know what you're talking about. Play dumb, play stupid, right? So that point, right, okay, no bother. Done checks and all that. This is, right, no bother. You're a free man, right? Before I walked away from them, I heard they were talking about me, right? He says, watch that cunt. That's what that copper said. And I went like that. I say, excuse me? I says, did I not just hear what you said there? I say, watch that cunt. I say, you got something to say? I say, see if I got that recorded. I says, I would actually give that and hand it to the fucking puck of professional standards.
Yep.
See the colour of that copper? It went jet white as the colour of that ball. The copper went, he shot himself.
Do you get sharp ears?
And see that policewoman, right? Now the colleague said, they says, oh, just watch him. He says, you know him from TikTok. I says, it's quite dangerous. I says, he likes to antagonise the fucking police now. He says, he will do it. You know what I mean? And then his colleague says, all right, on you go. You're free to go. You know, that's what he said. And that was it, you know.
Just for driving a bit, know what I mean?
Because of Kaz Milligan, his big mouth, you know. His big chukta mouth for fucking tail.
So did you know, so that was it early in the morning, right? And then at night when the actual fights were on, did you came, because I'm certain, right, I came outside and it was like, oh, Lee Sutherland's here. And then you tried to get in, they didn't let you in.
I managed to get in. It was during the day.
Right.
It was fans. It was 3 guys, right? They were supporting the property boss, right? It was a fire exit. So at that point, I was just kind of walking about and just chatting to a lot of people in the car park in the hotel, right? That point, the next thing what happened is these wee 3 guys, Ollie, come in and all that. We will invite you to come in. You know, he says, invite you to come in. Just come in and all that, big man. I says, we're here to, you know, we're big fans, right? That's the wee guys, right? We're here to support the property boss and all that, right? Oh, fuck Kaz and all that, right? So anyway, I was in, right? And the next thing was I was in for like, I don't know, less than 10 minutes, roughly, right? This great big security guy, you know him?
The big tall one?
Aye, the big tall
guy?
one, aye. The one that kind of like to look after Kaz Milligan, right? That's the same. You, out now.
Yeah, he's a big boy, you know, but I would have said yes, sir. No bother, I'm out.
You know what I did?
What?
I said, go and fuck you, you fucking prick. That's what I said. No, that's what I did. I said, fuck you. I said, go and fuck you and lick your fucking insides of your wife's cunt. That's what I said to him,
What
right?
did he say back to that? Did he say it?
And then I think it was Kaz Milligan's dad. He came as well, but Kaz Milligan was hiding.
Did he square
in
up?
one of the rooms? No, he says, you out now. He's a wrong you and all that. That's what he was saying to me, right? I said, fuck you as well, you baldy-headed bastard. That's what I said to him, right? Fuck yous. Fucking pair of pricks. That's what I said to him, right? And then I just walked out.
Aye.
And he was going like, can I shove me, right? I said, you shove me again. I says, I will fucking kick your fucking face in. That's what I said to him.
With
right?
the big man?
No,
his
it was
dad?
Kaz Milligan's dad, right? And he says, you think you're a big man or not? You fuck all. I says, you just wait and see what happens. I says, you touch me again. I says, I will knock fucking you. That's what I said to him, right? I says, I'll show you what a boxer is. I says, I'll tear the face right clean off you together. That's what I said to him, right? So anyway, that point, the guy never even touched me. And then he says, out now, out. That's what he said, right? And I think it was Kaz Milligan's dad told that security guy to tell the other security guys, he says, to tell all them to make aware that Lee Sutherland's prowling about, right? Which I was prowling about.
The
I do
notorious.
not give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? I'm not scared of anything. I'm not one of these Sean Pauls that are like a big fairy, right, on TikTok and say, oh, like that there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a big fairy like Sean Paul. He's the one's a big fairy, and that's including Kaz Milligan. Do you know what I mean?
Kaz and Sean Paul, big fairies.
Pair of fairies. That's what they are.
Pair of fairies.
So
True.
So you end up going, do you know what? The two of them, I would dust them both. It's not even worth it. You head out. And then it kind of died down a wee bit after that, didn't it?
It did die.
But then,
It kinda-
fast forward, right? Yous are kind of still, he's making a video, you're making a
By the
video.
way, see that Kaz Milligan? Do you know he phoned the police on me, right? And the police came to my door, right? Got a chap for the door, like that there, right? And I don't like chaps for the door, right? I kind of get a wee bit nervous because I don't like getting arrested or that, right? So
Who
anyway,
does?
so that point, that's when Kaz Milligan started doing his wee bitchy wee TikTok lives, right? Saying, I managed to get Lee Sutherland banned from Perth, right?
Aye, I remember he was saying that.
How the fuck could you actually get banned from Perth? Only one thing it can actually get you banned from Perth is the fucking courts. It needs to be a fucking judge, a sheriff. It can actually ban you from court.
And how
the
do they-
police can't ban you from Perth. He can't ban you from Perth. Do you know what I
You
mean?
can go to Perth whenever you want, mate.
Well, you did prove that.
Exactly.
How would you even ban somebody for a city? You know what I mean? Would they put up big walls or
Aye,
something?
big posters of your face. Do not let this man in Perth.
Wanted. That's what it was like at the boxing thing. But
I
is
think
that
it was
wanted,
like that.
man? It was
See, the fact is, right, I think, because Milligan and Sean Paul, see how the rest of these wee dafties, right, I think they're jealous of me because I'm getting quite high viewers. You understand what I mean?
Makes sense.
So I did give Kaz Milligan a second chance and he wouldn't accept it, so fuck him. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we because there was a plan. We had a plan for Lee and Kaz.
Exactly.
I mind we were talking to you, so we'll tell you this. Our plan was to get, in the height of all the drama, we wanted to get Lee in and Kaz, set up a wee podium. This was during the US presidential election debate sort of time. And we wanted to get these two guys in suits in here and we wanted to get them debating each other. And at first, Kaz wanted to do it. He was up for it. And then Lee was like, fuck it, I'll do it, I'll come down. And then Kaz didn't want to do it all of a sudden.
Was it no?
Because he's a big shite bag.
Well,
that's the problem.
Was
What?
it no? Because did you not go back up?
I
to
did,
Perth?
right.
So-
I'm going to explain what happened, right?
I tell us about driving to Perth, because this is madness.
So I directly went straight up to Perth, right? And I went off my fucking nut, right? And I asked Kaz Milligan, I said, come out now, right? No, my neighbours and all that, right? I said, well, fucking come out now. I says, and I'll take you for a square go right now because I'm happy obliged to do it, right?
Why did you do that? Why did you want to fight with him?
Because I wanted to kick his face in.
Right,
I wanted
fair
to punch the wee prick about, you know what I mean? And knock a bit of common sense into his nut, right? That's what I wanted to do. So, but the wee prick would not learn his lesson. So he needs good, proper discipline. I'll show the wee prick what fucking discipline is. You know what I mean?
Do you think it would be discipline as in a fist fight or maybe just bend him your leg and give him a spank?
Just put him down on the ground and a couple of wee jabs into the face and then maybe a nice wee kick in the back of the head, right? And knock the fucking common sense right out of his fucking head. You know what I mean?
Aye, knock it
And
on.
learn that wee guy a good proper lesson. Because I know the property boss gave him a good proper doing, right? And I know the fact that we all know the property boss was going to win. But that wasn't fair. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't fair. But I know, understand Mr. Doron, somebody to be like level weights and all that. You know what I mean?
I think
So-
it was because hundreds of people were going on TikTok after that saying, how did the property boss no win that? But it was because the property boss came in so over the agreed weight that they were like, this can't actually be a contest, it needs to be like an exhibition. So no matter who's winning the fight, there can't be an actual winner. But I think Kaz would say that anybody that watched it, obviously property boss won. It was maybe a bit of a daft decision to fight him. I wouldn't fight the property boss, to be honest. So you just gone to Sean Paul. Now I want to give you a chance to clear this up. Now, Sean Paul did upload a video and he's on the phone to you and he's saying, oh, we drinking my knob, you think my knob's good and how much you pay for eye contact.
That
was
video, I
that?
remember, yes. So the reason why, let me explain why, right? Now, I know Sean Paul's gay, right? 100% he was gay because a lot of people were sending me, now, you know what people are like on social media, right? They like to send shit from A to B and all that, right? But see, the fact is with Sean Paul, right? I think everyone knows from the whole UK that Sean Paul is 100% gay. Did you know saw the video that it was him and that fucking Ryan, his wee boyfriend, was sitting in the back seat? That was guaranteed that was Sean Paul.
Wait, do you think that was actually him, aye?
100% it was him, aye. You can clearly see that, you know, that was 100% that was Sean Paul.
He's sucking his bobby in.
That was Sean Paul sucking his cock off in the backseat of a car for Ryan.
Aye.
You know what I mean? And see the fact as well, right? It does add up, right? Have you ever noticed on the TikTok videos that, see that Sean Paul and that Ryan, why they poor naked but they got towels round about them, but they're always in Amsterdam or holidays or that, right? Why the fuck are they got big, massive, you know what I mean? And that you can clearly see that, you know what I mean? That actually, you can actually tell they can actually done stuff.
Are you saying they were a bit bricked up under the
Well,
towels.
actually, solid like big
Aye.
massive hot dogs.
Fucking hell, man, I
You
don't
can
know.
actually tell. Do you know what I mean? Did you not see the videos on TikTok?
So is that
They
why?
actually uploaded?
Is that why he phoned you and done that? Because he's gay and he obviously was wanting.
I think, see, Sean Paul, I think he's a very confused wee guy, right? You can actually see a lot of stuff with Sean Paul. Now, if you look at his Instagram and his Snapchat and all that, right? That guy is a weirdo. Do you know what I mean? The guy is a very weird guy. Now, why does he have a TikTok account? But it says, I'm straight, but I'm interested in straight guys or something.
Does
Do you know
it?
what I mean? Did you not see that?
Does it say
TikTok? There's a bit, it's got like over 30,000 followers, right?
What does it say?
Something. So every time he uploads a video, right, that point, if you scroll through like 3 pages or something, or 4 pages, that point is pictures of him laughing and giggling, right? And he's sitting like that there.
Aye,
Wee hand
gun
signals.
fingers, classic.
Aye, like that there. And say, I'm Sean Paul, but I'm straight. And then you swipe it to another one, right? And then the next thing is it shows you like a wee kind of short summary statement, and it says, I'm Sean Paul, I'm straight, but what does the girls think of me? I'm gay. Something like that.
Very
It's just-
confusing, isn't it?
you probably see it on TikTok. Do you know what I mean?
Is there any part of that phone call that you maybe regret?
Aye, the phone call. So the reason why that phone call, I was winding Sean Paul up, right?
Right.
And I was just trying to play along because I know exactly it was just a laugh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know exactly it was recording. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I was going along. I says, oh, Sean, yes, I would pay £50 to stare in your eyes and all that. I was just doing it just to laugh.
That's a good
I
deal.
was just doing it for banter.
Just a
Right.
good
Do you
joke.
know what I mean? And I did to, what's his name, John Seals, or that wee guy called Ross, him doing in England and all that. You probably maybe watch me on TikTok or that. But I just did a laugh. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Listen, slander's not a criminal offence.
No, just
Do you know what I
trying
mean? Anybody can slander anybody they want in Scotland.
Can you? Aye.
Aye, of course.
Just slander
You can
anyone.
slander anybody. Like, I can just say to you, you're a big poof. Well, I can't. No, I can't say that. That's homophobic. No, I do apologise. No, that's homophobic. No, I can get done for that.
That got me there, man. Oh, but
I can say-
you've slandered a fair few people in this
Of
podcast.
course, aye. But I can slander and say that you're ugly as fuck or something,
Aye,
right? I
that's
can
fair
slander
game.
much people as that. You know what I mean? So
Legally, you can slander.
exactly, aye.
Yeah.
But because of the hate crime and all that, it's getting quite stronger with the fucking shite. You know
What
what
do
I
you
mean?
think of that? Do you agree with that? Because I see a lot of people in America saying that like the UK doesn't have free speech anymore because you kind of can't say what you want now.
Yes, I will agree with the hate speech. I think it is a good thing because people in Scotland, they like to slander one another, right? Yes, calling people as an example, you big poof, or you're a Mongo, cunt, spazzy bastard. That's disability.
that'll do it.
Like
That's
disabled,
about it.
right? So you can actually get done for that. You know what I
Aye.
mean? So it is a criminal
Aye,
offence.
so see that? Do we need to watch what we're saying on this because of that?
I think we just go with the flow and
See
play it
what
by
happens.
ear and just.
Because you always just hear about like, oh, like somebody got done for the Twitter, but it's usually stuff like inciting race wars and all that.
Do you know,
like,
like people are getting done for like sharing like memes of like, say something to do with like Hitler. People are actually getting the police to their door and getting arrested for sharing a picture. That's a bit mental, isn't it?
Aye, but that's down in England because of
Aye.
the riots and stuff
I
like
seen
that.
a guy who like he like put up a tweet or a Facebook. He commented in a Facebook post saying like everybody get out and protect this country, and it was during all these pure race riots and that, and it was like a video of him getting arrested. And the woman comes in, she's like, "You seen a comment that you made on Facebook?" And he's like, "What, are you the Facebook police now?" And she's just like, "Yep."
Actually, we are, right?
We are technically the Facebook police. We can arrest you for comments.
Aye. So just to finish off in Kaz here, it's been a wee bit, obviously, because I mean, I was sitting, just to go back to the late night drives up to Perth, I was sitting at night, a Tuesday night, it must have been 1 a.m, and that you're in the motor with Big Ramey
That's right.
on the hunt for Kaz.
That's right.
So, I mean, you get there and I'm watching this, I'm glued to this. I've got you on one phone and I've got Kaz on the fucking telly on Twitch going, he's fucking coming to my door, fuck it, we'll see what he does and all that. and then you couldn't find the house. You and Raimi couldn't find the house. I was getting the sense that driving up, Raimi was starting to maybe regret it a wee bit. He was getting a wee bit scared.
I don't know. It possibly will. I was struggling to find out where the fucking address. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't really see because of the street name, and because the houses in Perth, right? They're very hard to see with the numbers not, because you don't really see numbers. It's like you kind of have to find exactly where they are, right? So I was in and out different streets and all that, and I couldn't really find where it was, right? So that point, yes, the first time I've been shown where was Kaz Milligan stayed. The second time I forgot where he was, right? As my mind is like a fucking sieve, you know what I mean? Like fucking shite sometimes, you know what I mean? I keep forgetting things, which that's what happened on that night. I think it was, isn't it? The second night.
Aye.
It was the second night. That's when I took myself, well, it was myself and Raymond. We went up and we drove up and we were struggling. And the woman pulled up and he says, "Oh, Kaz Milligan, he stays such and such street and all that," right?
That's mental. Somebody was
And
just willing to
I'm
get
trying
it
to
up.
figure out exactly where the fucking street is, right? I couldn't find where it was. We're going back and forward and all that, right? Raymond says, "Oh, let's go and all that." You know what I mean?
You trying to get back up the road,
I think it's going to get heated up or something like that, right?
Aye.
I said, no. I said, well, listen, we'll go up here and have a look, see if it's up that way, right? Couldn't find. I couldn't find the fucking place, right? So anyway, fuck it. Jump in the car and I fucking just drove back to fucking Glasgow, you know?
Aye, fair dues.
Mission aborted.
There's we're nearly at the bit where we need to switch to Patreon troops. We're doing an hour on YouTube, and then cause it's episode 100, we're going to do another hour really in the hot seat. We've got to. We're going to hit him with some conspiracy theories, see what he thinks of that. Some riddles as well, actually.
Yep.
We've got a list of riddles for Lee to solve. There's another man I want to ask you about just before we switch over to Patreon. And because the Kaz stuff has died down a bit, he's kind of chucked it. You've kind of no arse now. Just quickly on Kaz, just a wee quick answer. Would you ever be interested in making amends and saying, let's forget about all this, mate, let's be pals?
Listen, I don't think that's going to happen because Kaz Milligan's not willing to forgive. So he's not accepting the forgiveness. He just keeps trolling and he's just too fond of the I don't know what it's called, temptation reaction. Right?
Aye, that's it, exactly.
And he's just interested bullying. And he thinks he's getting reaction. But see, the majority, my understanding, and maybe for people as well, I think Kaz Milligan died down a lot. I think he kind of fallen down quite a lot.
Oh, you're saying Kaz fell off?
I think he's collapsed. His content went to shit, right? It's fucked.
You've kept your high standards up. His is that
Like,
is that what you're saying?
I'm Lee Sutherland. I always will be Lee Sutherland. Do you know what I mean?
Argue with that.
I'm one of these, like, when you go to one of these Asda's or Povdi corner shops, right?
Right.
And you get the pick and mix, right? That's what I am. Proper old school pick and mix. Don't give a fuck. I will do what I need to do. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
Listen,
you are exactly like pick
You are a
mix.
pick and mix, actually.
Well, that's it. Listen, I done the video with McTaggart. Is
Yep,
it Chief
I seen it.
Inspector McTaggart, right? Listen, that was a laugh. Do you know what I mean? It was a
Brilliant.
laugh.
Good actor, by the way.
You're born to play that role. This is what I'm going to ask about Mark Hamilton on the Patreon because we need to switch over.
Oh,
to-
yes, 100%.
that'll be the first thing in the Patreon. But we need to talk about how long we got. Actually, we can maybe do it in the YouTube. We could go a wee bit over then.
Aye.
Right, so Mark Hamilton. Well, this is the latest beef. Now you're always involved in some sort of beef. I'd say you very rarely are away for the drama. Now at first it was like kind of pals, and then boom, what happened, man?
Mark Hamilton, like, he's a bit of one of these Spice Boys, right? A bit bitchy, like the same as Sean Paul, as usual, right? Mark Hamilton, I remember one night I was outside the gay sauna thing, right?
Right.
I was on live and it was directly across the road for Glasgow Sheriff Court. Now, I was on live and that's when Mark Hamilton came, walked round the gay sauna, right? I
He
was
walked round there?
No, I walked round.
Oh, right.
He was on live on TikTok, right? And this is him, right? Now I'm going to tell you one thing, right? I actually got the chat messages, right? His best pal, right? Do you know? I was sitting talking about this gay men and all that, right? In the sauna. How does the sauna work? And you know what I mean?
You
I was
went in
asking
it?
older men, when men came out, right? And I asked the older men, I said, excuse me, pal. I said, what do they do in the sauna? Oh, it's just a sauna. It's like it's got a steam room and dark rooms and all that, right? As an example, right?
Were you just wanting to know just for it, like, to investigate it? Just to,
Journalism.
like, be like,
Exactly. It's just a rough estimate, just
Aye.
to give, obviously, an example to give to Mark Hamilton what it is, right?
Right.
So anyway, at that point, moving in the middle of the fucking video, right? Next thing what happened is Mark Hamilton, he switched the light off, right? I wasn't aware of this, right?
Inside the place.
No, while he obviously was on live on TikTok,
Right,
right?
okay.
And this is him. He was sitting with the light, like the full bedroom light switch off, right? That point, right? I was still speaking and I wasn't aware. But his own pal said to his best pal, right, Mark Hamilton, he messaged me and he says, by the way, he says, see that night, I says, the other night there, you were speaking to Mark Hamilton, right? I'm his best pal, right? He actually admitted and he had a wank over. While at the same time, I was speaking about this gay sauna.
So he's
The
listening
guy
to
is
you.
totally gay.
So he's listening to you saying gay shit, and then he's like enjoying it.
He was sitting enjoying it. He was sitting lying in bed and he was going like that there, right? And he was sitting wanking it. He had a hard on as he was talking about, because obviously I was talking about the gay sauna, right?
Fuck.
And he was sitting, oh, I would love that. You know, like some of the things he was saying, right? Now I remember some of the things he was actually saying that. And see, every time he actually said that, right, he was enjoying it. And then sometimes he kind of be a bit bitchy, right? And he says, oh, you're so gay, you're so nothing but a pred and all that, right? That's what fucking Mark Hamilton, right? It's the same as fucking Sean Paul. Why does we gay guys act like that? Why do they actually react like that? That's what I didn't get. I don't understand that.
When somebody's gay and then they are like you're gay, like they go the opposite on the
Aye,
defensive.
but why do they try and out you out and say, oh, but you're definitely gay. Oh, he's gay, mate. He's gay. He's trying to record you and all that. That's what Mark Hamilton was doing while he was on live, right? But why try and shout it out to make the other guy to be alert while at the same time was speaking? Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Whilst he's masturbating.
He's jacking it.
But he likes to be bitchy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that kind of fucking attitude is that, right? But that's the way Mark Hamilton was doing, right? But while Hamilton was doing the same time he was wanking, that's when the bedroom light was off, right? You couldn't see what he was doing while he was on live because it was totally darkness.
Right.
You understand? So at that point, the next thing, what else he was doing is he was just trying to like controlling you. So he
Right.
was trying to control myself to tell me to do this, do that. But he was trying to boss me about and try to control me.
What was he telling you to do?
Like, just try like, but go into the sauna, which I did. So
Right.
I did. I walked into the sauna. I remember I went through a fucking lift, right? Went up to the lift. That point, I showed him what the sauna is, right? And these kind of gay guys working in, staff members, right? That point, he says, oh, what are you doing and all that? I says, I'm showing somebody on TikTok that they're interested being in this sauna. Mark Hamilton, he's recording and all that. That's what Mark Hamilton
Right,
was
he's
doing,
like
right?
setting you up.
He's a sex offender and all that. That's what Mark Hamilton was saying to obviously the fucking staff members, right? So anyway, I fucking turned the volume down and all that, and I says, oh, this is a place here, Mark. Oh, it's got poppers, it's got this, it's got that, it's got fucking... I remember fucking weird stuff you can buy, like big dildos, right?
Dildos?
Aye, it's got
Fucking
dildos
hell.
or dildos or what
Fucking
do you call them?
hell. Yeah.
Condoms and lube and different types
You
of
can
stuff,
buy
right?
dildos in there.
Exactly, aye. There's a thing, I remember when I was in there, there's a glass wardrobe type of thing,
Yep,
right? And
cabinet.
it's- Aye, one of them things, right? And it's got one of these dildos. It was a metal thing. It's like a plug type of thing. It's got a handle on it.
Oh.
And it's got a wee shape of a triangle. And I don't know what it is. It's like
That's a butt plug.
I don't know what it is.
I think that's a
but
butt plug.
It's one of these fucking things, right?
That
It's
we-
got a pointy thing like that, and it's a shape of that. But it's got a handle like that. I remember one of them. It's got a rubber black dildo.
A big fucker, a big dildo.
One of these big fucking dildos, right? Different sizes. There's about 5 or 6 of them, right, for sale. I don't know the price of them. I wasn't really paying
No
attention. But
interested.
that's what I seen.
Yeah.
which
You
I
were
can
only
remember.
in there because
Mark Hamill.
you were just wanting to show people or whoever.
I
if
wanted to show
aye.
Mark Hamilton this is the place here, and he's saying, "Oh, I would like that." You know what I
Aye.
mean? While the same time he was doing that there, right? So I don't know. Listen, see, Mark Hamilton is a bit of a weird guy. I know the fact that he gets. I know he does funny business with that other wee guy. See him. He's a young guy, about 17, 18 years old, right? And I know Mark Hamilton, he flirts with this wee guy and he pays him money, right? Now, this wee guy's on TikTok as well. He drives a wee Citroen or a Peugeot type of car, one of these wee smart cars, right? And at that point, he's always like talking about me and made videos up. Lee Sutherland, you better watch 18-year-olds or something like that. You know, like, I don't know if you've seen the video on For You page. He's a young wee guy, about 17, 18 years old.
Aye, is it somebody that I don't know if he hangs about with him or he works for him or
no,
something?
he does work for him now. He actually got him a job.
Right.
Just a young wee guy.
Uh-huh.
A young wee guy, right? And that point, he got him a job. Now, how the fuck can Mark Hamilton run like a business and drive about with a nice M Sport X4 BMW competition or something? Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean?
I think he does well with the old. He sells the
Tan and
tanning.
stuff, but there's no way Tannin would actually. I know he does something else. You know what I mean?
He's up to dodgy stuff.
And then he's into a big penthouse as well. I don't get it. I don't understand. I know he's up to other things.
So has there been anything else after the gay sauna thing? Or is
He's
it-
always trying to like make videos up and say, "I'm really, really sorry, Lee. Please, please unblock me," and all that.
Oh, really?
That's what he said in the videos.
Aye,
so
Again,
he's
I'm just
trying
being
to-
very honest and accurate as possible.
Aye, honest
That's
and
what he's
accurate.
doing. Do you know what I mean? So,
Definitely.
but for Mark Hamilton, he's a very weird guy. 100% he's gay. Gay guys wear silver chains around the neck. It's like the same as Ben. What's his name? Ben Crawford.
Ben Ewart.
No, is it not Ben Crawford?
Oh, aye, him.
Remember
aye.
him?
He's a sexy Scottish guy. He's one of the guys.
Oh,
he sits with
Do
his
you
toe.
know he's bare naked? See, every time you see him wearing this, see every time he wears, no, he doesn't wear a shirt on, right? Did he admit it? No, he actually admitted on the live one night, right? And he said that, he says, by the way, he says, I'm totally naked. I'm always standing bare naked.
That's
Oh,
weird.
aye.
But
That's
weird.
what Ben
There's
actually admitted.
mean-
He said that on live one night. You know what I mean?
We've got a beef with the sexy Scottish people.
Aye, there's a whole thing on TikTok and it's like Ben would maybe. Ben seems like quite a nice guy to be fair, apart from being in the scud on live all the time. But there's a whole thing on TikTok of like, I'm a sexy guy and I'm Scottish, and they're all like,
Yeah, they're very like.
I'm
so-
very Scottish.
Thanks, there, darling. And
He's one of them, man. But how are we for time? An hour and 3. Look, guys, this is not going to stop anytime soon. We're doing another hour. This train keeps on moving. Is there a final message you want to give to the people of YouTube about anybody or anything to do with your life, or any advice you want to give to people? Because I've seen you're giving out good advice now on TikTok.
Yep.
Is there a final message you want to give to the people?
Listen, I know Christmas is coming up and New Year. Have a great Christmas and have a good New Year, and do not get too drunk.
Yes.
And must always remember
There's
that
a
we get locked up, don't let me out.
Won't let me out. I'm locked up, don't let me out.
Always remember there's a defence for every
episode
offence.
there.
Come on.
Must remember this.
Patreon.com/Reilly's Gaff for the rest of the episode. You can get it for nothing. Free trials on.
Mon.
Why would you know what's the rest of
Mon
this?
air.
Come in. We'll see you later if you're not coming over. And if you're, let's do it.
They actually put 5G towers up, right? And they're saying talk about fucking COVID. COVID is 5G towers. It's the radiation. That's what it is. Demons. Demons coming in through the door. Demons coming
There's
in.
this cunt again.
That's what it is. Demons.
What has a head, a tail, but no body?
A snake.
It's a coin.
That doesn't make any sense. Listen, this woman is working with the devil. She's a witch. A witch. That's what she is. I think that's quite an appropriate one.
That's done straight up.
That's embarrassing. That's absolutely, that's fucking disgusting.